Marvel Phase 3, Captain America Civil War. Did anyone think that they could possibly turn such a complex story into a successful movie? We're here tonight at Brent Theaters watching Captain America Civil War. Captain America carries this entire film, but there are subplots with other characters that are thrown in there. So if you know the Civil War storylines, and I'm not going to totally review the movie based on the story, because let's be honest, you're missing Fantastic Four, you're missing the X-Men, and you're missing 50 other characters that were in this war. But with what the MCU is doing, this movie was solid, perfect. I loved it. Everything about this movie was just like, ah! For those of you that might not know, but it's in a previous, not a spoiler, Spider-Man is in this. Have to say, it took you 6 movies, but you finally got the right Peter Parker, the right Spider-Man put together. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I loved it. All these superheroes actually have their good chunks of their time. The villains of the movie, they're kind of real lackluster, but it's not really about them. It's about the friendships, the aftermath of what the Avengers have been doing from all the other films. They bring stuff in from all of them that they've done, and it's just kind of like, okay, yeah, you've killed people, you have saved the world, but a lot of collateral damage, and we're not going to tolerate no more. They do a very good job at still taking key elements from Civil War, making it into a film. There's a nice little twist in the end. It's not like a M. Night Shyamalan twist, but it's still a twist. Mike was sitting next to me and I hear him go, oh, I heard you say that. Ant-Man and Spider-Man, when they had the big brawl that happens when you see in the preview with that lineup, I enjoyed watching them. And anything with Black Panther, I mean, yes, I love all the other guys, I love seeing them, but the new guys, seeing them come into it and see how they intermingle and mix around was enjoyable. The movie was so much fun. It's not even boring, and if anyone says it's boring, they need to get the hell out of the theater and go home and rethink their life. And if you're bringing your date and she hasn't seen the movies or he hasn't seen the movies, don't come. I don't want to hear you talking the whole entire time explaining what is what. It's distracting. Don't do it. You had all this time to watch 12 movies. Our daycare lady knocked 12 of them out in a weekend. Yeah, she did, because she's excited for this. No excuses. The acting was great. It was nice seeing the characters kind of be in a new light, not your traditional bad guy over there, let's go. As to where this, it's more personal. Friendship, decision-making, responsibility. This is what Age of Ultron should have been. I know it's not your fault, Joss Whedon. Disney interfered a lot, but this is what Age of Ultron should have been, was what we got. This movie, this is unorthodox. I think I've done this once or twice. 11 out of 10. This movie was primo. I'm probably going to see it like 8 more times to see what the other vigilantes had to say. Let's check that out right now.
So it's a fantastic movie, extremely well done. The whole crowd was into it. There's something about seeing a movie on opening night where you get to experience things with the crowd that's really invested like you are, where the gasps and the laughs and the clapping, and I think it adds to the experience of seeing the movie, at least in my opinion. So if you get a chance to see it early on when there's a big crowd, I highly suggest doing that because it adds to the experience.
I am in awe of this spectacle of a movie. I thought it was perfect. It was amazing.
Given the history of Marvel films, I expected it to be just as good as the previous ones, though I did not expect it to be better, in my opinion, than the first Avengers movie, which in my opinion it was. As exciting as a visual spectacle as the first Avengers movie was, this one took it up a notch. The writers did not just hash this out and say, let's get a third Captain America movie out there. Let's make this good and let's please our fans like we always have. It didn't take them long to make the movie, only 2 years, which I'm glad.
The heroes they've introduced, Black Panther. I had some issues with Black Panther. He looked cool, he fought really cool. The actor they chose, I think, was a good choice. He did a good job. But some of the choices they made with some of his motivations and what he was doing, I didn't necessarily care for. Spider-Man. I don't see how this guy's that much different. He quips like Andrew Garfield did. He kind of looks normal, but they both kind of look normal. There was nothing really special about Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield. They just look like normal geeky guys. So did the guy do a good job? Yes. In my opinion, I don't think he did any better than the other 2 Spider-Men did. So do I want to see a movie with him? Well, yeah, because Marvel seems to do everything better in the movies. But would I want to see a Marvel movie with Andrew Garfield? Yes, I would. I would like to see it because it would be written better. It would be done to a higher standard, but I think he's just as good of a Spider-Man.
Tom Holland nailed it. I feel like he had the Tobey Maguire, Peter Parker nerdy side, but then he also had the Andrew Garfield wisecracking Spider-Man in costume side. You know, he was like the perfect collision course of those 2 actors to come out. And I appreciated that he wasn't so attractive like Andrew Garfield, but he was actually still cute enough to be Peter Parker from, say, 90s cartoon Peter Parker. Ant-Man and Spider-Man made the comedy of this movie flow. Every time they opened their mouths, you just cracked up. I heard everybody was laughing in the audience at what they were saying. Spider-Man got the biggest round of applause that I'd ever seen.
Spider-Man appearance, a lot of people were left and right saying, I don't like that idea, that's stupid, you can't just throw him in there. But I loved it. Both Ant-Man and Spider-Man, great comic relief. Just really, really awesome. Every line they threw out was hilarious. A lot of comic relief. It relieved the tension and allowed you to enjoy it as a Marvel film a little bit more and more.
Obviously, this is a very tense movie. The idea behind it is these friends are at each other's throats, and you're supposed to be invested in both sides, where there is no good guy and no bad guy. You're not really prepared for exactly how tense this is going to be in certain moments until you see it. It goes way beyond what I was expecting. You're like holding your breath because you don't know what's going to happen in this fight, in this interaction, in this argument, whatever it might be. There were a couple points where one Avenger stood up to another Avenger and it just jaw-dropping, like jaw on the ground kind of stuff. It was hardcore.
Visual effects, superb as always. I didn't find anything in there where I'm like, that caught me off guard, and said, oh, that looks fake. No, I was immersed in the movie the entire time, which means all the visual effects just passerby, looks real, good enough. Well, more than good enough. Basically what I'm saying is, if it's a bad visual effect, it's going to cut me off guard. I'm going to say, oh, that looked kind of fake. But no, not once did I say that in this movie. So
when it comes to the overall quality of the movie, I thought it was fantastic. The movie is a ride from the moment you start to the moment you finish. It leaves you wanting more. You want to know what's going to happen next. That's extremely important with this movie. It gives you enough to be happy that you watched it, but leaves you wanting a lot more.
Just everything about this movie, all I can say is I loved it. Loved it.
It's a personal story.
It is. It was a very good story, and it was just, you have to see it. It's just, you have to see it.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, what are you going to give this and why?
Okay, after you see this, you'll understand this. Dialed to 11.
I'm going to give this a 9, not a 10, because nothing's perfect in my opinion. I don't think I give it anything a 10. This is a 9. Best Marvel movie since the first Avengers.
I give it a 10. The movie is the personification of a good superhero movie. It has everything you want it to have. By giving it a 10, I'm not saying it didn't have little flaws here or there, but they're minor. They're nitpicky. They're the kind of things that you have to be looking for something wrong to find something wrong. Overall, fantastic experience. I guarantee I'm going to see it 4 or 5 more times.
If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. Like this video, favorite it, share it, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. What movie are you looking forward to of Phase 3? Shoot that down in the comment section below. I want to know what you guys are most pumped for besides Civil War and obviously Infinity War. So shoot that down there. And remember, you heard it here at The Source.